Apologies.
It's all right. No worry. I mean, your company has enormously fast-growing profits, don't they? And what are the sort of key issues you face as a business?
Well, for any entertainment business, any business that's driven by what happens on stage, it's the content is the constant challenge, which is why we are an integrated business. We produce about 25% of our own content, which means we've got the flexibility to program that work. We've got it when we want it, where we want it, and at the price we want it. So, for example, you may not launch your most expensive production ever at June, which is perhaps a bad time of year as you go into the summer, or maybe January when everyone's broke after Christmas. But you may slot in something that's relatively low cost that you can take out and to create work to put on the stages in the cities where you want them on the dates you want.
Yeah. Now, what about Bristol? Bristol Hippodrome, big theatre, successful?
I have to say, Bristol is one of the most sought after theatres in the land. Probably the most sought after in the region.
In terms of?
Yeah, I think it's a terrific catchment. I think it's a lovely building. I think it's a vibrant, burgeoning city. Great cultural offer. You know, you've got to go down the road to the Old Vic. Different entirely, but a great quality and mix. And I think people are used to going out and having a great offer on their doorstep in Bristol. And it is consequently, we do really well, and producers therefore want to come back to the Hippodrome and to book their shows into it.
And are you seeing the economy come into your door? Are you seeing more and more people coming to the theatre?
We are.
Because it's not cheap, is it?
It's not cheap, but during the recession, which if you like from 2007-8 to this year, we have more than doubled the size of our company. We acquired our biggest competitor in 2009, which included Bristol. That was one of the theatres then owned by an American company called Live Nation. And we integrated them into the group, and from that point, which was in 2009 to this year, we've doubled the size of the company, which is no mean feat during a recession. And I think, you know, recession or no recession, everyone still has a birthday or a wedding anniversary or a special occasion they want to go out with the family. And it's, if you like, an affordable luxury. That yes, when you go, you want to be sure you're going to have a great time and the content's going to be great, but it's also, you can't stay at home and watch TV all the time. You want to have something special. You might not move house or buy a new car or even go abroad for a holiday, but you may go out and mark your wedding anniversary.
Absolutely. Now, on the business, you've grown so fast. Aren't you actually a key target for a takeover?
Well, I suppose we could be, but I'm not quite sure who would take us over. Because theatre is very fragmented. It's almost, in many ways, a cottage industry. So you've got lots of small companies and lots of small businesses. Many of the regional theatres in the UK are run as single operations. Or in London, you've got perhaps 3 or 4 quite large groups, but they don't have any interest in the regions. And in the US, again, it's a very small club of theatre owners and operators on Broadway in New York. There's probably fingers of one hand who operate theatres there. So it's a very small but fragmented club. And nobody seems to have done what we've done in terms of wanting a properly integrated business with the theatre buildings, owning and operating them, with the content in the middle, which we provide all the cornerstones for our venues, and across a great range. Our content is a small play like The Bride, or a major musical like West Side Story, which is a huge variety and everything in between. So we're more akin to a broadcaster than we are to like a niche publisher. And I think nobody has the same business model as us on that kind of scale. So I struggle a bit to think about who might buy us. You may be right.